Hi folks, Doug here. I am hanging out in the Hazelwood Botanical Preserve. This is located in Montgomery, Ohio, and it is owned by UC. And what we have right here behind me is what appears to be the one butternut, aka white walnut, juglin cinerea, that still exists on this property. At one point in time in the early 20s, when some research was being completed here, it was one of the dominant tree species in the canopy and understory in sections of the forest. By the way, this forest there's a lot of it that's old growth forest. It's never been cut. But yeah, I've done some extensive hiking throughout the property, and it appears that this is the only individual that remains, and that's because there was a fungal disease that was introduced to the United States. This is a disease that the European varieties and species of walnut can withstand. However, the white walnut is extremely susceptible to it and has since declined precipitously. It's considered an endangered tree by the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. And yeah, we can see, this large area, I think we were talking about 70 acres or so, once home to, probably hundreds of these individuals. And now there's only one left. It's a scary thing, to think about. We've seen it with our ash trees. We've seen it with the elm trees. And unfortunately, we're going to see more of these things coming down the line in the future. Unfortunately, there's some things that we cannot control. However, there are some things we can control. And if we choose not to spend our money on plants and natural resources that are procured elsewhere and brought over into North America, we can help limit the transfer of these fungal pathogens, these other non-native invasive species. So this is just me saying, I've seen what happens when we don't do anything to halt the introduction of non-native species, and it's devastating. So let's all take some time to reflect on that and do what we can to make things better. The first thing you can do is, instead of introducing non-native plants into your neighborhood, into your yards, choose instead native plants. They're not going to come with any sort of crazy non-native pathogens that can spread and kill native species, and they're actually going to benefit local ecosystems by fueling our food webs. So take some time, think about that, and let's take a moment to mourn the loss of the butternut here at the Hazelwood Botanical Preserve, and let's see what we can do to improve conditions for it in the future.